Hey friends and family, my name is Skylent, as promised, more Spellbreak content, because this game is kind of fantastic. I think it matches and merges with what a lot of you guys have been interested in my channel for, a lot of this like MMO and magic and you know, ridiculous kind of like a little bit competitive kind of content, and then also as well for the content where, you know, I love Overwatch, I love actual like true esports style games, mechanical style games, even things from like Warframe style shooters all the way to like literal like, you know, Overwatch, things like that. So I think that merging these two kind of concepts and these two kind of, I guess, factions of types of players, the people who really just like really overpowered fantastic stuff, but then also people who like, you know, esports and competitive things. Normally games are either kind of down on the ground, down to earth, or like heads in the clouds, ridiculous, and those also separate PvP and PvE games. So PvE games, you're normally allowed to be overpowered and ridiculous, and PvP games normally gotta rein things in for balancing issues, and that's a huge problem, especially in MMO battlegrounds and PvP. You know, they never let us get as cheesy as we want to, and that's a word I love using, cheese. That's something that I've been enjoying in light novels, manga, manhwa, anime. I love when we just get really overpowered cheesy shit. But it's not actual garbage, you know? It's like people understand what makes overpowered fun. And balanced. You can balance overpoweredness, if that makes sense. Maybe you guys have some tales to tell of back in the day, but I think now, today, in the modern era, we actually have some games that are perfect examples of that, and today we are talking about Spellbreak and what makes it feel so freaking good. And basically, it's because everything is incredibly difficult. It is a very challenging game, and yet everything is overpowered at the same time. So that's how you balance overpoweredness, is yeah, you can have people shooting nukes, you can have people going invisible and blinking across giant maps or whatever, you know, moving at the speed of light, literally flying and superhero landing. You can have all that, you can have a bunch of Mary Sues, but you need to scale everything according to that as well. You know, you don't need to have people stand still and cast a fireball, you know, for 2 seconds and then have it homing or whatever, for balancing reasons and all the, you know, all the little stats and things. No. Just have them shoot a freaking rocket fireball, and then, you know, let them have to actually aim it. Let them, and give other people the ability to dodge those things and really hear it, make it very audible, and blah, 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 all this other stuff that makes the game balanced. I mean, I guess we're going to divulge that, but basically what I'm saying is the game is at the same time as overpowered as you can be, and as overpowered as just inherently you are. As soon as you spawn, you have a sniper rifle. You can spawn with a freaking sniper icicle bow that you can shoot across, and then, you know, you can just do that as soon as you land. And then, you know, you're off to the races. You can be overpowered pretty quickly in this game, nuclear magical battle royale. But then also, everyone has a lot of defensive abilities. It's very mobile. The map is very big. There's a lot of verticality. There's a lot of detail to the map. And there is a lot of strategy, I think, overall to the building and the progression of this game, that there's a lot of gameability with this. So often what I'm just going to say is a lot of other games, especially the copy-paste simulation style battle royales, what they do is they just put everything real close to the ground. They just kind of have like a little kiddie pool, right? You know, they throw in some little pool toys and like have fun. And you know, you can have fun, but wouldn't it be great if we just had like a giant Olympic-sized pool, you know, and then we actually had like, you know, squirt guns and, you know, all the different kind of pool floaties. I don't know, put us in the ocean. Go as deep as you can go, man. Lakes and ponds and what have you, whatever. We can have boats and jet skis. There's so much that we can have for tools. And I just, okay, basically what I'm ranting about is Spellbreak feels good because it has a really high skill ceiling, which is a double-edged sword. It really is. When you first start the game, it might be too hard. It might be too niche. It might be too difficult. I don't know, for the average gamer even. But that's kind of also the point. If you can understand that, and this is something that a lot of arena shooter players try to get across. I know the fighting game community really tries to express this. It's like, guys, and RTSs as well. It's like, guys, these games, they have to be hard. And yes, it kind of sucks for new players to an extent, even average players who maybe even played games in the other, you know, other games in the same genre, but it has to be like this. But see, this is where Spellbreak is a little bit extra special to me, is that it is the type of game that kind of is inherently understood, which almost arena shooters are kind of like that as well. It's like, okay, it's a first-person shooter. Yes, it's aim-intensive, but what makes arena shooters super hard is the memorization, and it's like there's a lot of repetition, and there's a lot of just like muscle memory that goes into that. It's so breakneck speed constantly, but Spellbreak has an ebb and flow, especially because of the RPG mechanics of, you start out, you're still pretty powerful. You can start out with, shooting poison clouds, rocket launchers. You basically could spawn with a rocket launcher or a sniper rifle, right? So you can do that, but it also goes so much deeper. What you actually pick up, like the poker gambling aspects of like, okay, what cards am I drawing? Oh, this is the wind gauntlet. Okay, I can do this with the fire gauntlet. Oh, I can do that. Oh, I picked up something wrong. I should play a little bit more passive until, there's that battle royale style kind of mentality and gameplay overall with the progression, which is nice. But overall, it is generally a familiar kind of game. It's a third-person shooter on PC, that's true, but it's a shooter. You run around, you pick up items, you try to get OP, and then you try to blast some people in the face. There is not too much complexity with memorizing maps and memorizing when things spawn. There's not too much complexity with the builds, especially now, because it's pretty on rails. It's pretty straightforward. Very quickly, much more quickly than MOBAs, do you understand, oh, I probably want this item, that item, and you kind of build your build really organically in the game anyways. It just kind of feels good, if you survive, that is. And overall, like, it's just something that is much easier to get into the feel of overpoweredness. In arena shooters, you have to practice offline for dozens of hours just to really master moving. Other games it's like WASD, okay, you're off to the races. In arena shooters, no. Nope, you're not playing the game until you know how to strafe jump. Trust me, I know, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing in Diabolical. And then, obviously, like, the spawns and everything. So it's a little bit more chaotic, and it's a little bit more insane, but at the same time, it's because of that makes it so much more fun, I think, for new players. Another game that does this, Rocket League. You know what I'm talking about. Rocket League is impossible. And yet, because of that, if everyone sucks, then everyone's having fun, basically. Spellbreak is kind of like that. You're not just constantly, every single second, getting nailed in the face by someone who is 100 times more experienced than you. Spellbreak is more chaotic, it's more silly, and it also allows for more shining of different types of skill sets. But really, it just comes down to fundamentally, it's a high skill ceiling shooter where more often you have more variability in the shooting mechanics. That's why I really appreciate it, and I think that's why a lot of arena shooter players are appreciating it, and that's why I think a lot of people who normally play MMO games where you have all these different spells and tactics are really liking it, because finally, oh, we get to aim our fireballs. Oh, our blink actually really freaking matters. We have to really dodge those fireballs. Shit like that. Oh, we can mix and match. The fireball can hit a tornado and make it explode into a fire inferno. What the hell is going on? It's absolute insanity. And that's why I really appreciate games like Overwatch, where it's like, okay, you can shoot arrows, or you have a sniper rifle, which is hit scan, or you can shoot rockets, or you have someone who has grappling hooks and bullshit. I think maybe Spellbreak should have a grappling hook in my opinion, but aside from that, guys, basically what I'm trying to say, which I just keep reiterating, really, is high skill ceiling makes it fun. But I think Spellbreak has the highest skill ceiling, and yet at the same time, a really fun skill floor than like any other game. Really, it kind of parallels games like Rocket League, it's just so simple, so basic. Okay, mages, battle royale, we've seen this, we've done this. This is a formula, right? No, when you actually get the feel, what makes Spellbreak feel so good is because there's so many different kinds of feelings, of different kind of mechanical ways to aim, a lot of different projectile speeds, projectile types, different environments. Are you shooting, are you on the ground in like a crevice in a ravine shooting up at a tower? Are you flying through the air and then you're sniping downwards, or you're shooting rockets at your feet? What is going on? Are you kind of rocket jumping? Are you aiming your icicle shot so you can skate across the ground? There is so much going on in terms of the way the mechanics really play with the way you feel physically in real time. That's something that I mostly appreciate in games. Very rarely do games make me feel physically something special, and most of the time those are mechanically demanding games. That might be games obviously like fighting games. If you don't sweat while playing a fighting game, you're not really fighting, I think. You know what I'm saying? Like, play Smash and play it competitively, it's crazy, right? So those kind of games that make you kind of sweat, but at the same time it doesn't feel like you're really too stressed, even though it is a battle royale, and it can be stressful, that's true, but it's not just I don't know, it's not just beating your head against a wall like other games, it's more free. You know, the skill ceiling and the options, the choices that you have of how to express yourself as a player make it really colorful. You know, from, yeah, you can lob a poison smoke bomb and then shoot it with a fireball, or you can do a firewall and then shoot your poison through it. You know, you have options of mixing and matching your different abilities, but it's not just abilities, right? You can say that in tons of games. There's tons of MMOs and games where you can say you can mix and match and you can combine classes and things, but really you're just pressing a rotation, really you're just kind of standing still or, you know, charging up attacks. But in this game, you are physically moving your body to move your character, which is really moving in this game. Doing so much dodging, aggressing, attacking, hunting, hiding, you know, just mixing and matching the different abilities. Rocket launcher, snipe, rocket launcher, throw grenades, you know, things like that. And I'm using FPS terminology because basically that's what this is. It's a shooter and it's got magic, but they kind of parallel to weapons. And the closest other game that kind of gives me this feel is Overwatch. And even then, it would be like, okay, if Overwatch, you could switch characters almost nearly on the fly. I know you can switch, you know, every time you die or whatever. It's really like that. You know, you can pick up new gauntlets, you organically progress through the game and change your build and you get new abilities and everyone else gets new abilities and everyone gets really overpowered. It gets really ridiculous. And in the end, if you can understand, okay, this is a challenging game. It is hard. To an extent, there will be some stress. But I think overall, for a new player, the learning experience and the vibe, it's much, much less so than other games, like fighting games, arena shooters, and RTSs, where you're not even really playing the game until you are softly mastering the game. Where Spellbreak, jump in, shoot some shit, I don't know, just be dumb and be stupid, kind of Rocket League it, and you're gonna have fun, and you're gonna experience what I'm experiencing. And, you know, as I gain mastery, you know, it's still the same thing. We're all still having fun, we're all still learning, and we all feel that learning experience, and we're all feeling the same motions. Just like we can all go to the ocean, and then afterwards you still kind of feel it, or you come off of a boat, you kind of got to get your land legs back again. Spellbreak's one of those games. After you're done playing it, you're going to walk away with memories, and you're going to walk away kind of feeling it in your body, you know, in your gut. You know, you're going to feel this game afterwards, and that's what makes it feel great. That's what makes Spellbreak feel great, basically, is, yeah. all of whatever the fuck I just said. That's my rant, friends and family. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I get to play more Spellbreak, and hope you guys enjoy the content. Much love. I'll see you in the next one.